Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss Yellowstone's 2024 limited edition release. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Von Nieters, and Wes Harden.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
We're going to be talking about Yellowstone and their yearly limited edition release. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Wes said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, sir?
So, curious question, and I think most reasonable, logical people these days don't watch a lot of live TV, if they even watch TV. And if they do watch it live, it's probably a sporting event or something like that. Most are by DVR, so you can fast forward through the commercials. However, if you are forced to watch something live for whatever reason, are there any commercials out there any worse than the drug commercials for like Ozempic and where like you have like all the people dancing and all the crazy weird shit? Like those are
picking up weird shaped fruits.
Yeah, and it's like they're the longest commercials, so that tells you how much money that the industry's making if they can afford 2-minute long commercials. Most of them pays millions of dollars for 30 seconds, but these things are like full on productions of 15 people dancing and it's like the thing, what I find is funny, the thing that the drug is supposed to help you resolve, whether it's weight loss or it's something, everybody in the commercial is the antithesis of that. So like you would think,
I know the commercial you're talking about.
If you're doing Ozempic, you'd have a bunch of skinny, fit people running around because they've used their Ozempic and this is what happened. No, it's the opposite of that. And on top of it, they go out and grab lunch for everybody. It's like, I hate them. I hate those commercials. I hate them.
You got to give credit here. Men have caught up to women now in the embarrassing commercials. Because back when I was a kid, the only ones that would make me nervous would be, around my mom. They'd be like, "I'm not feeling fresh." There's some sort of spray or
feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, tampons or douches or whatever it was. Now they had those commercials for those. Oh yeah, Massagill. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, so now men they've got an equal number of embarrassing commercials. So when you are watching TV with your mother, which occasionally if I'm over there, she's going to have the TV on. It's just mortifying when either one comes on for something embarrassing for men or women. It's you don't want to be around your mom. I don't.
Yeah.
She has to bring it up too. I would just act like my kid and I have a thing where we act like we're not even seeing. We suddenly pick up our phone and I'm not even. I didn't even notice that I was on my phone. My mom has to point it out. Oh, I hate these. God. Oh.
It's like that he who smelt it dealt it kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
She's uncomfortable, so she's gonna let you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I think any pharmaceutical commercial is really cringy and annoying. I'm like, why do you have to advertise your drug? If we need it, the doctor will write it. Like, why are you advertising? You're the last thing that needs advertised. Also, in toilet paper, they don't need commercials either. We're all still buying it. Like,
right.
Two things we don't need commercials for.
It's true.
Not until the bidets come around.
I know. America really needs to get on board with that better than we are. But that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, for sure. So
there you those go. Commercials are pretty
horrific.
Yeah, if they mention in the commercial what the drug is for, then they are then required to list off all of the possible side effects.
Yeah, which is
and if they don't talk about what it's for, then they don't have to mention all that stuff. So there can be a commercial about a drug that's supposed to help someone with someone, but they can't even talk about what it's supposed to do because they don't want to talk about how it might cause anal leakage or bleeding out the eyes.
Yeah,
there's like for Skyrizi, which is like plaque psoriasis, and they're like showing people riding bikes on the beach. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could still ride a bike without that. Like, what are you improving?
There's a drug, I don't remember which one it is, but there's a drug that's like an antidepressant drug. And it whatever the drug's name is. And then when they'll start playing the music, but then they start listing the side effects. And the first two side effects are if you start experiencing depression or suicidal thoughts. And I'm like, that's what your drug's supposed to fix. What are you doing? Like, I don't.
Oh, you were fixing that for me.
Yeah, commercials are cringy. Like they've got a woman's shaver.
Oh God.
They've got a woman's razor commercial now where it literally is like, I can use it on my armpits and I can use it here and I can use it on my hoo-ha, and it's like
for the hair down there.
For the hair down there. That's the one.
Charmin commercials got the bear with the toilet paper all over his ass. He didn't wipe properly. Even that is cringy. I don't want to see.
Thank goodness it's a cartoon bear and not a real bear ass with toilet paper.
Oh, I'd love to see a real bear.
Yeah, exactly. I'd prefer that. Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah, that's terrible. All right, on that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Wes Harden. Wes, what do you got there?
Oh, you caught me off guard. I'm going to go with, it's not going to be a cork pop, but I have a dusty 1990-something maker.
Okay. All right. Kathy's next.
Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to.
It's going to be about a 20-minute presentation.
It's my Yellowstone limited edition.
Oh.
This one is from 23.
Okay.
2023.
That's nice. Mm-hmm. Solid. That could be enough. We'll see how it goes.
That would be opposed to 1923, right?
Yeah.
Right.
McNew, you're next.
I have some Yellowstone American single malt.
What the hell?
There
was a swing and a miss that injured her.
That's our Skyrizi pop there.
Yeah. Cork pop injury there. So, yeah. I'll see that. That'll come across my desk on tomorrow. It'll be paperwork filed. Like, I need, like, your insurance. I got 2020 Yellowstone LE. No, not as good as Kathy's. She's maintained her lead, but Fun Eaters is yet to go. What do you got there, buddy?
I've got a 2023 Yellowstone limited edition.
Oh,
bastard!
Oh, no! He fouled on the end.
There was a little bit of slosh.
I heard the slosh, and Kathy's was close. Yeah, Kathy's was closer, and he had the squeak. I say Kathy won that, so hers was a better pop. So
cheers!
Cheers!
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this year's LE. What's going on with it? It's always exciting to see. Steve Beam always has a little twist on things. We'll see what he has going this year. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Limestone Branch's yearly limited edition Yellowstone.
Yes, we are. So this is going to be rolling out soon. I don't know the exact date or anything like that. And of course, that's going to vary by market anyway. So even if I had a date for you, it doesn't necessarily help you in the listening audience. But Kathy, tell us about this one. What do we know that is going to be happening with this one?
So this year they've chosen to blend a 7-year with a 17-year bourbon.
Okay.
And then they double finished it. So they finished it in a French brandy cask and then a cognac cask.
Okay.
Coming in at 101.
All right.
They're making 30,000 bottles.
Okay.
And retail is a nice smooth $100.
Oh, hundo. Okay. All right. Interesting. What do you guys think about this? Is this one that if you saw it at your local store, I'm not saying you're going to spend the night anywhere out to get this or anything like that, but you go rolling up in your local store and they got one of these, it's a hundo, or are you buying?
I have a question. I have a clarifying question, actually.
Okay, clarify. Go ahead, sir.
Is French brandy and cognac not the same thing?
Or
what are the differences? I'm assuming they're not the same thing. So what are the differences?
So cognac has to be made in a certain region. It's kind of like bourbon rules where it has to be made in the United States. So they're technically both brandies. Brandy and cognac are brandies, just like bourbon is whiskey and whiskey is whiskey. So it's the same type of thing. It's just they're both would be French.
Like all cognacs are brandies, but not all brandies are cognac.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Got it. Yeah.
That's a good question, though.
It was a good question.
I do my best.
Probably helped many in the audience there, so including Von Nieters. Yeah, I saw him furiously writing notes as we were saying that.
I was going to go to my phone to look up the answer, but
there you go. Okay, so back to my question. What do we think about this? Is this going to be one you guys would get?
Brandy / cognac are one of my favorite finishes on bourbon.
Okay.
So it does sound interesting. The mix of the 17-year and the 7-year.
Mm-hmm.
Give it some age. So that's cool. I mean, considering total inflation in general, but in relation to bourbon premium releases, the price is pretty well in line with probably under the average market for what people are charging for annual special releases. How many years, I think I know the answer. I want clarification. How many years has Yellowstone been making their own distillate? What's their oldest barrels they have on site that they made there? Just curious. Is it the 7 years the oldest ones?
No, I would think 10 years.
At some point, at some point, I would like to see. I think they've got stock that's aged well enough. I don't know if the quantity's high enough, but at some point, I would just like to see a Yellowstone release for 2025. That's just a straight like aged bourbon whiskey, all distillate from Yellowstone.
That'd be kind of cool.
Obviously, I mean, I'm sure it tastes great. It obviously has to pass profile, but at some point you don't. And this isn't related to just Yellowstone. It's in general. At some point, you can have a stellar annual allocated release without doing anything what I call fancy with it, putting a finish on it, doing a double oak, doing a toasted oak.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you've got, to me, anything
like Four Roses does.
Exactly.
Their leaves aren't finished.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Either blend a 10 and a 9 year, or just make it a straight 10-year small batch, or maybe it's a few different single barrels. But at some point, for like an up and coming distillery that's got some well-aged stuff now, like put your mark out there, like, hey, we can stand up to birthday bourbon. We can stand up to all these allocated releases. We don't need anything other than Yellowstone brand, our distillate. It's well-aged. It's a good proof. Let's go. And it doesn't even have to be barrel proof. Right? You can make it 102. You can make it 98. You can make it 100. You can make it whatever you want. But I like this release. I like all their special releases, but I'm hoping sooner than later they just kind of
we don't know where they stand on that. Yellowstone is an interesting one, right? Because Steve Beam's laying down barrels as a small independent craft distillery at first, not affiliated with anybody else. He's doing that, and so how much do you have when you're spending your own money to lay down for a future? That's probably the problem, because then you start selling it too. So it's not like, okay, yeah, he's been in business over 10 years. He's got some. Well, he's also had to make some releases because you got to pay the bills. So how much has he tapped into that? And so we don't know that. And then, of course, they merged with Luxco. So then Luxro became. So they were able to get some inventory from them, obviously, because they had when they first came aboard, they had the Heaven Hill stock, and then that kind of runs up. But then Luxro had also been making some of their own stuff, so they were able to sort of fortify what they're doing with theirs. And now MGP's involved. So now we can see a 17-year-old. So yeah, it's kind of all over the place. But you're right, though. I would like to see, maybe at some future time, just a release of stuff that they made on site there at what is the Limestone Branch Distillery.
Or like, cool. I'm sure they're like everyone else. They own. In fact, I'm pretty sure they do, and you would know Steve because you're good friends with Steve Beam and Fonte. I'm sure there are some old labels that they own, but they haven't resurrected yet. Even if it's not the Yellowstone release,
right?
Revive one of those old labels. I know they've got in the distillery, they've got a display board or display case with like some old labels and bottles. I'm assuming they either used to make it or maybe they still own the rights to it. Pick one of those out that you think's marketable and cool, and do it doesn't have to be a wide 30,000 case release. Maybe it's a 10,000. Maybe it's a 5,000 bottle.
That would be cool.
You sell it only out of the gift shop or something like that. But yeah, this release is going to be great. They do great things with their single malt's amazing. I'm not even a malt whiskey kind of guy, but that stuff is amazing.
Would you be interested in it with the same passion? If Steve Beam, who's kind of getting towards the end of his career here, you start thinking about legacy and stuff like that, and maybe he started to take, because it's stuff that he made, again, it's just things that were made on site there at where Limestone Branch is, and called like Stephen Beam Reserve or something like that.
Ooh, of course, absolutely,
great.
Yes.
I think that would be kind of cool.
He deserves a label of his own.
He does deserve a label of his own. Now, can he get away with it? I don't know if Beam, does the big overlord Beam come after you if you do that? I don't know. Maybe, because they could potentially, not to a bourbon fan. We know the difference between Steve Beam and the Tree Branch and the other Beams, but I don't know. Lawyers get involved and
have to use his middle initial, whatever it is, like Steve J, that's his reserve. I don't know if he can see his last name, which is kind of
it kind of sucks, right? Yeah.
I've yet to go after the Beam family for using the last name Harden on their Hardens.
You're considerate. You're waiting in the wings.
Hoping they can reciprocate to other people in the industry.
Right.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, so that's interesting. What about everybody else? Are you excited for this one? As it is?
Is this the first time they finished?
No.
No.
No. Let's see. The one I've got here, I think is. Yeah, this one's finished in Armagnac casks.
Oh, okay.
The 2023 is Tokai. Okay.
Tokai, there you go.
So they've been finishing all along.
Not necessarily that long, but yeah.
I will
They
say
went back to 2015 with this series, and it's evolved a bit over time. Go ahead, McNew.
No, I was gonna say I like this price point, right? Because like usually when I look at a bottle, I'm like $60-$70, no big deal. $100 for a limited edition, not bad at all. Like they could really like we're asking $250 or $300, and people would do it. I like that they're keeping it around $100. So
That's cool. That is nice, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect price.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm intrigued. I mean, a 17-year-old bourbon. I want to see what that's going to taste like in there, and that's this one's definitely got me interested. I always like to get the Yellowstone, and usually it's an accessible one. I mean, 30,000 bottles, that's a pretty good amount. I mean, you're talking about like Four Roses or Pappy releases, you're in the 7,000 range for those. So this is, 4 times that. So it's not that it's going to be easy. That's, you're not going to be able to just sit on it, but if it hits your market, you've got a chance, it sounds like. So, yeah, so that's kind of cool. And always, of course, being able to stop by the distillery. They do tend to hold some back at the distillery and do drops there and stuff like that. So yeah, that's always a good plan of action too, to start hitting it in this next month or so, all the way through September, usually pretty readily available there.
I got my 2023 just a couple months ago at the distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hold some. I mean, I don't know why they do that. I guess just for that very reason. I guess you never know when it's a good time to go to the distillery. I guess because I would want to hold that. Like I own a small liquor store, and I always want to hold stuff back. But then I end up, someone comes in and wants it, and you're like, oh, here, you can buy this, sorry, because you want to sell then. So I don't know. It's
Old Forester does that with birthday bourbon. They'll have they released just on a random Tuesday during the week, 25 cases or something like that of birthday bourbon from like 2022 or 2023. Yeah. They hold back and filter it out through the year for mainly to attract, just random visitors and things like that. So.
Yeah. That's a cool thing. What about you, Von Nieters? You going to try to find this one?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to look for this one. I like their past couple of releases that I've gotten, and I do tend to like brandy and cognac finishes, so this one sounds like it's going to be right up my alley.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I want to hit the distillery next time I go to Kentucky and look for that. And another one of the rum cask finishes, too. That would be nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one from this year from them. So, yeah, I definitely like that. All right, well, there you go. There's a little bit about Yellowstone's LE hitting a market near you very soon, so be on the lookout for that. Check social media. Usually, as soon as it hits a market, someone's, hey, look what I got. So that's the best way you can do those things is just follow online, get in your local Facebook group or whatever, and don't get in fights in there. Just use it for watching purposes. So see what's out there. All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Von Nieters, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me grabbing one of these bottles if I see it in the store, and on Instagram at Von Nieters.
All right, Kathy.
I'm on Instagram at KK Cast Strength.
Wes.
You're muted.
You're muted, Wes.
Instagram Bourbon_Wes.
He definitely had flatulence, so I know what was happening there.
My Ozempic got me. It's one of those side effects they rattle through, but you can't hear it.
It's quickly muted it.
Yep.
All right. McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew, ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's going to be abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. You never know what we're going to have in stock in there. Sometimes we're recording podcasts. Did one of those today, and fun stuff. So check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.